referee and 2 sideline officials, not even an in-goal judge, to help with the awarding of tries. Underway on a Saturday night off the beat of Clint Gutherson. They played a draw in the pre-season last year down in Bega. And whenever they play, it doesn't matter what's at stake, they will rip in, no question of that. Moses Leota had the first carry of the night. James Fisher-Harris, a week on from his man-of-the-match performance in the All-Stars. One of the premier front rowers in the competition. Yo on the 3rd carry, Marnie down low. And Paulo also involved in the tackle, and a straightforward set from the Panthers to start the match. We will keep a tally of set restarts tonight. I think that will be a talking point. Luai's first kick of the night. Big Fergo. Blake Ferguson with a carry. And the chase is spot on for Penrith. But, yeah, 10-metre infringements. The referee has that set restart at his disposal. In the trials played so far this season, quite obviously, the count is up. And we'll just see how it pans out tonight. Sivo on that carry. Also up to the clubs in this one if they want to have a drinks break at the halfway mark of each half. And now Marnie to the right side. Brown just dumping that off for Sean Lane. We're going to see the likes of Isaiah Papali'i, the former Warrior, and Keegan Hipgrave, the former Titan, coming off the bench tonight for Parramatta. Gutherson getting through on this kick, but Edwards is underneath it. And linking up there with Brian To'o. So fairly confident start, straightforward from both teams, but negotiating their opening sets without too many troubles.
A well-weighted kick there from Dylan Brown, really looking to step up after 2 seasons already under his NRL belt. He's built his confidence, his body is building as well, and he's looking to have a strong season.
Well, this is where he made his debut, Michael, isn't it? Dylan Brown, the first time we got to see him and kick out. Well, he has got the main standing out like a beacon on a Saturday night. He could be a lighthouse. He's tall enough to be one. Here's Yo working short with Leota on an edge. Don't mind that. Moses is normally a battering ram, but there he was, right edge as Cleary, cutout ball. Panthers look slick early. The kick not so good. It was dropped onto the foot and over the sideline as well. And that is no scrum. We come over for a set restart, set of field.
One of the 8 new rules for season 2021, Bossy, and a real charge up the middle corridor for the Pink Panthers, showing their intentions early.
And the critics of the new rule say, well, there you go, you bring it to centre field and set defensive lines. The likes of Cooper Cronk on Fox League saying, at least with a scrum, if only for a small amount of time, there were 6 players in the defensive line outside of the halfback at the scrum. So that has been taken away from the game by and large. Campbell Gillard, big run, a former Panther, up to halfway, and Coruscant around the legs. Marnie works right with Paulo, one of a number of players in this game that are now State of Origin players after their efforts at the end of last year. Nathan Brown, another one with an offload there for Marnie. So Parramatta, a little bit of second phase. There is Sean Lane. So Lane is playing the right edge and Ryan Madison playing left edge for Parramatta. Here's Paulo with the ball for the Eels. And their first real attacking opportunity of the match. Marnie to the left. Brown straightens him up. Moses, Gutherson, slick for Madison. Ryan Madison within a couple of metres of the line. That was good attack. The scrambling defence of Penrith, pretty good too. Moses to Brown. And now back off for Campbell Gillard. And they're only 15 metres away from the line. Last tackle play. Marnie, left, steadies the kick from Moses. Here comes Ferguson and To'o. Well, he's giving a little bit away on the height department to Ferguson, but he did well there.
Yeah, certainly wrapped up that one cleanly there, To'o, and had Blake Ferguson charging through, but it was that left edge attack again where Parramatta focused last year. That's where they had the first crack against the Panthers.
That was pretty impressive from Parramatta there. And look, commentators curse, but we're yet to see a handling error yet. Encouraging start from both teams, tuning up for round number 1 now. Parramatta's left side attack. Luai to Crichton. To'o had to rope it in from behind his right shoulder. that promise there from the Panthers. Luai, Cleary, 20 away. With it is Yeo, sweeping right. Edwards into the line. They've got some good tackle breakers in the likes of Edwards and To'o in this Panthers side. Now Cleary, still a few tackles up their sleeve. Kick out, not given much opportunity. That wasn't the best setup from the Panthers, number 7. Last play, Cleary to kick out to right centre here. There's a bit of interference and an excellent take at the finish by Micah Sivo. And now Opacek with the ball, one of the Eels' new signings on show. Another completed set.
Very confident under the ball there was Sivo. Off contract at the end of the season. He had a breakout 2 years ago and needs to assert himself this year.
Crowd thought there may have been a forward pass there. This is nice and quick from Parramatta, right up the centre. And a couple of metres short of halfway. Wherever you're watching this match, you are getting excited about the start of the season. Parramatta to play the Broncos on the first Friday night. Off the oak padding, Edwards comes back with it for Penrith. And the Panthers will be here at home for round number 1 when they take on the Cowboys. So that is March 13 at home, the first Saturday night of round 1, 2 weeks from tonight. I hope they fill the joint.
Well, this match has been played with a strong intensity, given it is a trial, as you said earlier. No errors yet. We still haven't put the commentator's curse on it. The Panthers now over the 40.
And another thing I'll warn you about in advance, some of these reserves who are likely to come on. There's a kick which has found the line of 40-20 for the Panthers. Cleary kicked 4 of them last year. And Penrith will have a full set 15 metres out from the Parramatta line. I was just going to warn you, some of the replacements will come on with the same numbers as players they replace. Might have to invoice a few extra dollars for tonight's game, I tell you, in commentary. It might become very tough. Coruscant, Yeo, Cleary loses the ball and it's into the grasp of the big Filipaulo.
Well, hasn't Nathan Cleary come out with all guns blazing, as you said, the 40-20, such a lethal weapon in his arsenal. And that time he just steadied himself. That low trajectory kick found the sideline, but unfortunately that error sees the ball back in the hands of the Eels.
And now Gutherson with the ball. We may also see young Jacob Arthur at some stage tonight. He has been listed on a lengthy list of reserves, the son of the coach. So that would be something special, wouldn't it? And a very unique situation to have 2 coaches with their sons potentially playing halfback against each other. May happen tonight. Cleary v Arthur in the coach's box and on the field. Here's Moses, the starting halfback, kicking down to the corner of Charlie Staines, has made an absolute, well, not just a meal, a smorgasbord of it. And then Sivo, well, no real advantage there to Parramatta. But Charlie got all mixed up there for Penrith. Out on the right wing.
Micah Sivo got a little excited there, tried for the quick offload. Just the stakes aren't so high tonight, but coach probably would have been preferring, would have held onto the ball. They get the advantage from the fact that there was no advantage.
So Staines, it looked easy enough, and then he sort of twisted his body to shield from the oncoming traffic at the last moment. And it put his catch technique right out. So Parramatta, Marnie from the scrum and Brown stepping. Gee, kick out went low on him there. He was like a tripwire on the Parramatta 5'8". Campbell Gillard just 2 or 3 metres away from the line. They're threatening to be the first to score. Brown, Moses, Gutherson, Sivo hard to stop from that close. And I think Penrith have managed to do it. Mission impossible. They have managed to stop Micah Sivo.
It took a lot of stopping, that's for sure. He's not a semi-trailer, but he's just about as lethal. And the touch, he had his flag up in the corner there, so big numbers to stop Micah Sivo in the corner. It looked like it was going to be the opening try, but denied.
And again, no scrum with player over the sideline, so set restart centre field where they bring it. And now with Jerome Luai, Crichton heavily involved, been a terrific week for Penrith off the field if you didn't catch up on the news, and I'm sure all Panthers fans did, but others maybe not. Crichton re-signing, Luai re-signing. Crichton until the end of 2023, Luai end of 2024. And Edwards on the carry back. So Cleary signed up long term. This squad, what you're watching, looks pretty settled. Yo's another one who was signed up long term. Coruscant with it. Leota. There was some suggestion that Penrith a bit light on for front row talent. No Tamo this year. Tedavano has gone to the Super League. Here's Cleary with a high bomb towards Sivo. Stands his ground close to the sideline and does well to stay in. But yes, the Panthers front row stocks, you're likely to see Spencer Lenu playing tight tonight when he comes on. An opportunity for some younger players as well.
Yeah, Vossi, the mail is the Panthers are well in the hunt at the moment for another prop forward. Haven't yet identified who that may be, but they've got room in their top 30 to accommodate another player.
I don't know how true it was, but when there were suggestions Burton could have been offloaded to Canterbury, unofficially, well, you give us Dylan Napa, was what was whispered. Here's Moses high ball out to To'o, one of the great entertainers of the competition, one of the nicest young guys you'll ever meet, Brian To'o. And he can sing a bit as well. There you go, give him a fair rap. Now another bloke who can sing, Jerome Luai. Part of the Blues origin squad at the end of last season. Didn't get an actual game, but a great experience, I'm sure.
Also part of this Panthers development system. You look through the top squad they've got there, and it's the core nucleus is all Panthers juniors, which is almost unheard of. Such a high representation amongst, looking back through the last 30 years, this would have to be one of the highest representations of locals for any team.
Oh, absolutely. And Michael, you've spent a lot of time over here, but when you see clubs like the Minchinbury Jets represented, and St Clair and St Mary's and Glenmore Park, it warms the hearts of the locals to have their little suburb and their junior footy club represented on the big stage of the NRL. And it's an inspiration to the juniors coming through. Let's hope for a COVID-free year, and we have Junior League. And now Moses going for his own 40-20. That was a very unfriendly bounce, because that had every right to go straight over the sideline, and it sat up for Edwards to get across. And now To'o with the ball, short of the 30-metre line. So no score. Am I right in saying we haven't even had a set restart? Penalties not to be seen. This is a fast game of football to start the match for your last hit out before the season proper gets underway.
Well, both teams top four last year with aspirations to go even further this year. They are playing like there's plenty on the line.
Today's been a bit old school. 7 games in total. 14 of the NRL teams in action this afternoon and tonight. And it's been like the old Sundays listening to the radio, trying to keep up to date with all the scores around the grounds. Where's the big Panther scoreboard here? Kick out is 9 metres away from the line. And that has to be, that's a set restart for the Panthers. There's Wanga Blake sat on Kickow there. Yoda played in front of the posts. Coruscant to Luai. Here's Kickow again. Ferguson missed, and Brown's tackle. Sensational from Dylan Brown. Crichton. Luai take a dash, offload. On the bounce. Misses Yo. Cleary's with it. And still the attack with the Panthers. So there's some exciting footy being played. Again in front of the Parramatta post, 7 metres away from the line. Played by Yo, Coruscant, this time keeping it tight. And an ankle tap more or less from Paulo on Fisher Harris. Cleary, little dab, intercepted. The kick snaffled there as Capewell was surging through. And Paulo now has an intercept and a kick reception in the match so far.
He's got the best hands amongst the front row fraternity, that's for sure, in the NRL. Paulo, he just took it there like a good slips catch, and cleaned it up there. Gutherson now taking the metres forward. And now Blake Ferguson advances up out of the red zone.
Well, both teams have had their chances early, playing some bright football. Just news through from the Charity Shield as well. We can't keep you up to date with all the games being played, but South Sydney up to 38 points to 10. It's been a big night for the Rabbitohs, not so good for the Dragons. The Rabbitohs will open the season March 11. You can see it on Fox League, the opening against the Melbourne Storm from Amy Park. That will be game number 1 for the season. Here's Crichton. Players warming up on both sides of the dugout here. Little surge there from Coruscant. Opportunity for a set restart. Klein, it's a skinny 10. I'll say that much. You can draw whatever conclusion you like from that. And now Cleary on the right side. Capewell and tackle on the last changeover.
Good pressure there to shut them down. And I'll throw a stat at you, Vossi, courtesy of the NRL.com website. The Panthers have been analysed to have their 4th easiest draw in 2021 based on data. So that's something that the Mountain Men hopeful can be excited about.
Oh, I love pre-season stuff like that. I have a bowl full of stats for breakfast in the off-season. If you want to know what I do, I just lock myself away, watch old games, analyse. Love them producing stats like that. And now Marnie. Oh, Moses took it right to the line and offloaded. He copped a shot straight to his feet, the Eels halfback. Here he is again. And then for Dylan Brown. He kicks. I don't think the outside chasers are that quick. And Toto comes up with the ball and beats Brown and then beats another. Here he is, Brian Toto, doing what he does best. Beating the first and the second. Aggressive run there by Charlie Staines. And now for Momirovski, half a dozen games for the Storm last year. Finds himself as starting centre here. Now Yeo with the ball. 35 from the line. This time with Leota. Oh, he's lost the ball in the tackle. Marnie low. Over the top was Brown. And the Eels come up with the ball. So another error from Penrith, and Wanga Blake on the run back and offload for Gutherson. No score here through 18 minutes of play, and it's been pretty good football for a first big hit out of the season. It's got, I'll make the shout out very early, it's got draw written all over it, just like last year down in Bega. This match, Lane with it. Sides played twice last year, one apiece. Parramatta with that win back in round 5, 16-10. Where Penrith had been the better side for the bulk of it. And then by round 18, Penrith on that big run, they defeated Parramatta 20 points to 2. 30 away. And Moses this time off for Campbell Gillard. And this time they've turned it over and Kikau has it.
Yeah, the handling from Parramatta has been pretty good. On that occasion, Campbell Gillard couldn't control the football. But all said and done, it's been a fairly high-quality match for a trial.
Oh, absolutely. Look, again, I think actually Klein might have come with a little open mindset here, and I have no information at all, but I think he is being a little lenient. He's letting them just play rather than have stoppages. Luai loses the ball and Ferguson comes up with it. It's a fine line because it isn't a big 10 metres. It's only just. He's not really producing the set restarts of other weeks that we've seen so far in 2021. Put it this way, for the Parramatta fans who saw last week when they played the Dragons, the Thursday night trial, I would say they had 10 set restarts by this point of the match. And now Marnie with the ball. Moses, Brown and Gutherson, and then Lane onto Ferguson. Called forward the pass from Sean Lane. Wouldn't have been too much in it. No score still through a quarter of the match.
There was no way through for Fergie Ferg because they were all converging on him, the Pink Panthers, the little chip at the top, but all in vain with that full pass being ruled. So they'll come back to the centre corridor for the scrum to pack down. Panthers loose head and feed.
Former Tiger Matt Eisenhuth, Michael, has been sent out for Penrith, replacing Moses Leota, who has been outstanding for Penrith with the exception of the one drop ball, but very energetic start from the Panthers front rower. Andrew Voss and Michael Golikov with you on this Saturday night from Panthers Stadium. So good to have the footy back, and what a great venue to come along to, and with a very good crowd in as well, providing the atmosphere for tonight. We saw a lot of cheese toasties here tonight down the northern end of the ground. Here's Yo, short of halfway. You haven't had a cheese toastie at Penrith, you haven't lived. Here's Fisher Harris. Rugby league cuisine at its best. Ooh, slipping there. It's Coruscant. He's a little rubber ball, he is he? He bounces through 2 and 3. How did he do that? Happy Coruscant. Luai, Cleary, rolling forward. Oh, what a shot. Ryan Madison. Poor Dylan Edwards. Smashed in the tackle. Luai's got the kick. Crichton copped interference off Brown, but the officials are happy with it and a 20-metre restart.
There's been rain throughout the day, right throughout the week, as we all know. I think that dewy conditions are starting to cause a little bit of concern out there. Bit of slippery feet and players bowling over.
What about the shot from Madison? See, you don't get that in cricket. I think they should bring in the shoulder charge into cricket. It'd make it far more exciting to see Madison just clean up Dylan Edwards. It was outstanding stuff. Brilliant defence inside your own 20. Now Brown for Sean Lane. Parramatta in quick time, 32 metres away from the Panthers line. And Nathan Brown with Mitchell Moses, and there is Gutherson. Sevo is lurking. They've done a good job so far on Micah Sevo, the Panthers' right side defence. It was Cleary that time. Marnie off for Campbell Gillard. Last tackle, Parramatta. Moses has switched to the right, so to Brown. So quite obviously the way they're going. Brown to Moses, on to Blake. Blake to Ferguson. Ferguson's kick. It's lost, and Ferguson claiming the try, but Klein says knocked on. No, knocked dead by Kickow, which becomes quite an effort from big Viliami Kickow to save a try.
Yeah, I think the referee's got it right as we watch the action unfold here. It was a little awkward. They managed to get out to Waka Blake, and then Blake Ferguson, that little chip through, the ball lost backward. It was play on to there, but Kickow saved the day.
I think they should have gone over the fence and checked with the bloke closest to the ground. If we don't have a bunker and we don't have an in-goal judge, I think the referee should go over and get 5 people and majority vote wins. Although, mind you, they're all Penrith supporters, so it's probably 5-0 vote, no try. So no video assistance, no in-goal judge. We are winding back the clock on a Saturday night. And this is Zaya Papali'i out there for Parramatta, the former Warrior, New Zealand and Samoan international. I hope he absolutely thrives here at Parramatta. Paulo to play at 10 metres out. I'm sensing the Panthers might crack. One of the best defensive outfits of last season. Gutherson, on it comes for Madison. Madison is going to be taken over the sideline. Oh, the audacity of me to suggest the Panthers would crack. Outstanding defence by the men in pink.
Well, the defence is first rate. We know that from last season as we see the ball, the cross from Gutherson. Madison there, plenty of work to do. He had Micah Sevo on the outside, but the Panthers, they anticipated it. And we do know that Parramatta do favour that left edge, so it seems as though the right end defence got the memo and they were ready and waiting.
So Panthers back up over their own 20, no score, 24.5 minutes gone. And again, both teams have a host of players up and ready and warming up. And again, warning you in advance, there will be players coming on in the same numbers that they wore in the lower grade. So You may see 2 number 9s out there and 2 number 8s. Don't adjust your screens. That is just the way it's going to be here tonight at Penrith. So the Eels with Sivo. So far I think it's a clean slate as far as injuries are concerned, which is the hope for all teams involved in this last week. News out of the Melbourne trial with the Knights. Melbourne successful there, but Harry Grant suffered a knee injury. Not of the serious kind, it's believed, but enough to put him in doubt for round number 1. MCL sprain. Kick down here for Edwards to cover up for the Panthers, and chases spot on from Parramatta.
And Moses chasing his kick down hard there, really trying to contain the Panthers within their own 10. They go wide early though, the Panthers, an opportunity out on the edges.
And that time Staines wrapped up by Opacek. And then for Momirovski. In the 2 centres, I like both of them. I think Opacek's a strong pickup for Parramatta, and I think Momirovski is a really good pickup for Penrith. I know Dane Laurie's a talent, but he had already signed elsewhere for 2022. I don't think they've done too badly in ending up with Momirovski.
And both sides have got another couple of centres that they can jostle around in those positions as well, so they really need to fight to stay in the top spot.
Crichton's gone high on the kick. Gutherson's got it covered. Oh, Gutherson is well and truly smothered in the tackle of Cleary there. Again, the quality of this contest on show. Crichton, I like the kick. Going high back infield, giving his players a chance to get through. Classy player, we know that. And now with grand final experience. In fact, the try scorer in the grand final, Steve Crichton, wasn't he? Completely back over the 20 that time. Oregon Kafusi now out there for the Eels. Hoping to have more game time this season. He's been a 20-minute replacement player so far in his career. Staines to bring it back. He will start the year with a record of 2 NRL games and 6 tries. Quite extraordinary for Charlie Staines. To'o on that carry. Kickout has come off for the Panthers. So Viliami off, and Tyrone May is now out there for Penrith. He's gone into a dummy half roll. Looks like Kurt Capel has shifted over to left edge where Kickow would have been playing. And Liam Martin out on the right edge now as Luai. That's been knocked down by Ferguson. Fergo's got no idea where it is, and he's come up with the ball. It bounced into his arms. Did not have the slightest idea where it had gone, and then just like a magic trick, it was back in his hands.
Well, we've got those big nets out there, and as you say, he drew it back in, but knock on was always going to be the outcome there against Blake Ferguson. So we're winding down. No drinks break elected to be taken by the teams, or are they about to do that now as they pack this scrum down? But just a shade over 11 minutes to the halftime break, and we're still locked up at 0-0. A little bit of fatigue starting to creep in here.
And this time from the scrum, that skip and jump from Edwards. Lots of encouraging signs from both teams so far. And with the individuals, Penrith now running out Spencer Lenu. You'll see him in a moment in 15. Bigger and stronger, this young fella. I'm an enormous rap on Spencer Lenu. He will become, well, he'll be in the 17 all year. He is a first grader head to toe. Here's Cleary. And then tipped on by Edwards. Oh, to the professional try scorer they've sent forward. Charlie is denied out in the right corner. Klein was straight onto it. The sideline official directly in line. Phil Henderson there. What do you think at home? Ooh. Edwards to Staines, forward.
What a meteoric rise he had last year, Charlie Staines. Well, they call him the Ferrari, the flyer. He's one of the fastest men in the NRL, certainly at the Panthers club. He'll be their strike weapon this year. Of course, fan favourite Josh Mansour. There wasn't any room for him in the Panthers' plans going forward, courtesy of that man you just saw on screen.
So players taking their time on this scrum packing down, and referee Klein seems sympathetic to the players and that possible fatigue factor coming up through 30 minutes of this trial. And again, I say, if you're a Penrith or Parramatta fan or a rival fan, you're looking at these two sides so far tonight and saying, yeah, they look pretty good. And Papali'i on this run. Parramatta's attack went south late last year, or the second half of the season really. They started well, and then there were big question marks on it. It's looked good tonight without reaping any points reward. The money for Papali'i. He's serving it along. And a few metres short of halfway. This time, Moses was hit hard in the tackle of May, and they're going for it, the two of them. It bounces up for Edwards. No one's interested in where the ball has landed because Tyrone May and Mitchell Moses shaped up. Missed the footy. See, that's just a bit of foreplay right there. That's beautiful. There was no punch thrown, but May made it count, his tackle on Moses, and he is going to be penalised for it.
Yeah, the natives getting restless in the M4 derby, the Battle of the West, and the boys shaping up for a Saturday night as best as you can in the current era of the game.
That's right. There was just a little bit of, summer tension. This is the second last day of summer. And the penalty where the ball landed. I think you should bar penalty goals in trial matches, and Parramatta have no thought at all of going for goal. Papali'i with the ball for Parramatta. Will this be the time that the Penrith line cracks? There's been some great scramble tonight on their part. That time Keegan Hipgrave now out there in jumper 16 for the Eels, and really good first contact in defence from the Panthers. Liam Martin across there on Madison. And Madison is an offloader, we know that. Brown with it, came to a halt, back for the former Titan in Hipgrave. An aggressive customer, Keegan Hipgrave, to the nth degree. Marty has taken over the top, swamped in the tackle there. Lenu had his number for sure. Papali'i with it for Parramatta. Oh, they've knocked that on, and Penrith in the scramble come up with it to Martin. Klein, will they in fact rule the first knock on against Parramatta? Just getting some communication there. Well, was he checking to see if Gutherson was okay? I don't know, but in the end the result is play on for Penrith. 33 minutes gone. Not a point on the board here. At Panthers Stadium, you're watching the last hit out of these two clubs before the season kick-off in just under 2 weeks' time.
The points have been not coming, that's for sure, but the players and the energy of this game has been really strong, and now we see the Panthers advancing over the halfway line, so it's a real arm wrestle, and that's what we like to see in the Battle of the West.
Yo on this run. The previous carry by Liam Martin held back from the starting 13, but he's come on. They've been feeding him raw meat all summer. Now Luai back for Crichton. Crichton is 23 metres away from the line. Matt Eisenhuth down in back play for Penrith. Trainer with him now. Panthers, and there's a penalty. And a quick tap taken. Cleary pushes Kafusi out of the way. Cleary is just a metre short of the line. Make that centimetres away from the goal line. Set restart. Marnie slow to get away. Yo delivering the pass, and Eisenhuth back, but perhaps not 100%. Taking the tackle, another set restart for Penrith. It's all happening here. Cleary along. Capewell is held around the legs by Brown. He's an outstanding defender, the Parramatta 5'8". Cleary with it. Yo then off the right foot. Isaiah Yo has stretched out, but not far enough. Still with the Panthers, May to Cleary to Luai. Brilliant step, superb from Jerome Luai. The ink's not dry on the contracts for the next 4 seasons. Beautiful left step, times 2. The first try of the match to Jerome Luai.
We've seen him dancing in the sheds in the aftermatch, and there he had moves like Jagger. Luai, close to the line, he's so lethal. The step again, and then he was able to accelerate at pace and put the Panthers on the board early as we draw towards the halftime siren. And isn't he happy about it as well?
He's an absolute ball of energy and skill. His improvement over the last 12 months or so has been extraordinary. So good. I mean, I can think back to the start of last year and I thought, well, Burton's going to end up being the 5'8", but Luai just made it his own, and I suppose you could say it's forced Burton out of the club. He doesn't see a future, and hence he is signed with the Bulldogs for next year and beyond. Luai has got the spot all tied up, and with plays like that, no wonder.
Very hard to stop so close to the line when the agility he shows is just sensational.
Michael, you don't sport a single hair on your head. What's your thoughts on Nathan Cleary's mullet to start the year?
Well, it's what all the kids are doing these days, isn't it? All
the mullet, I should say. Sorry, mullet.
It's interesting. I think we're going to see a lot of interesting hairstyles again in season 2021.
Sure. Surely you don't go to a barber for that. You just go down to the council and a bloke holding the stop slow sign and you say, mate, can you just cut this for us? Cleary successful with a goal for a 6-0 lead. 3.5 minutes to go in this first half. And again, if you're just tuning in, Andrew Voss, Michael Golikov in commentary tonight. Doesn't appear to have been any injuries through the first 37 minutes, and plenty to like about the efforts of both teams so far. A few handling errors, but it's been a fast trial, no question of that. And that's just brilliant stepping from Jerome Luai back against the grain. So 6-0 scoreline. The beaten grand finalists of last year will be opening their account against the Cowboys 2 weeks' time from tonight here at Panthers Stadium. The first Super Saturday of the year for Fox League. That's going to be some game to finish on Saturday night. Panthers and Cowboys. New coach for the Cowboys, Todd Payton. Really looking forward to that one. Looking forward to every game, of course, but well, I just hope they fill the joint that first Saturday night. A celebration, if you like, of the Panthers' efforts of last year. Carry it into this season and get some momentum right from round one. Yeo held up there. Couple of origins for Isaiah Yeo. Cleary's kicking from inside the 40. Deliberately for that corner. Skidding down there for Gutherson. And Gutherson's got the top knot on show tonight.
Yeah, Gutherson, another player, talk about hairstyles. He's been supporting a new mop for the new season. This man, though, doesn't have much choice like I do.
No, Ferguson back. Nice and straight and hard. And Marty, Parramatta direct attack here. Marty scoots away for 13 metres there. 90 seconds away from half-time. Papali'i with the ball. So both coaches have given big minutes to their players out there tonight, even though they are playing under unlimited interchange tonight. They've been happy to give some of their stars a long hit out, and then Lane Ferguson under pressure from Toto. The lefters look good for Parramatta, the right not so.
And that sort of echoes back to last year as well, Bossy. Parramatta will really look to improve their right-hand attack this year. So far, still a few cobwebs need to be ironed out.
Well, that was obviously just a straight drop ball from Ferguson, but last year only 4 tries for Fergie. Right corner. So Penrith with it. Provided they get through the set, this will be the last of the half. What about a 2-point field goal? I wonder if any player has it in their head. If you're going to do it, now would be the time. 25 seconds, nothing to lose. Cleary get in position, take a snap from 45 metres out. No drama, no damage done. But it's not in their head. And I don't think it will be in their heads at any time. Capewell with the ball. But who's going to kick the first 2-point field goal? Last one, Eric Sims. Now Cleary. Yo, they've got higher ideas. Long ball from Tyrone May. Charlie Staines kicks it back in field. And Parramatta take it dead. Always took the head off a spectator sitting at the fence. It was rifled over the dead ball line by the Eels. Have a look at the finish of this.
The alarm bell's ringing for Parramatta. Sivo got back there when he needed to. The kick through and looked to be covered, but they didn't want to risk it with the captain putting the ball, as you say, like a rifle over the dead ball line.
Who knew sitting so close to the ground could be so dangerous? Gutherson with a striking left foot there. And the halftime siren sounding at Panthers Stadium. A match of decent quality. The last hit out for both teams before the season kickoff. A half that produced only the one try. That the way of the Panthers, Jerome Luai. Cleary kicked the goal. And at the break at Panthers Stadium, Penrith 6, leading Parramatta 0. Now just some scores from other grounds. Rabbitohs wiping out the Dragons 48-16, led 32-4 at half-time. Latrell Mitchell outstanding. Josh Mansour a try scorer for the Rabbitohs. Storm beat the Knights 30-10. Harry Grant a knee injury. Roosters 26 over the Raiders 20. Second half underway here at Panthers Stadium. The Raiders had led that match against the Roosters 16-10 at half-time. As the Eels field the kickoff. Joseph Suwali, by the way, scored 2 tries. The 17-year-old for North Sydney in the curtain raiser to that one. The Bulldogs have beaten the Sharks 16-12 after the Sharks led 12-0 at half-time. And the Titans and the Warriors a 12-all draw. I'm told the highlight, Big Tino for Suamala-Aui scoring a 40-metre runaway try for the Titans. A game they led 12-0 up there in Lismore. By quarter time, Broncos and Cowboys only just underway. And here at Penrith, Panthers up 6-0. And Sean Lane on the carry through the centre. And that has been one notable change. Parramatta this year to last. Madison playing out on the left, Lane playing out on the right side. And this kick down the throat of Dylan Edwards. Again for mine, one of the highlights of the first half, I think the shining form of Cleary and Luai and Coruscant to get them started. Around those players. And this is a Penrith side to be feared. Crichton up towards halfway. Now Coruscant, and more metres to be made straight through the middle. And again, a very purposeful start to the second. Here goes Coruscant. Here comes Cleary. I said it going to half-time. The 6, the 7, the 9 are outstanding. A top shelf play from Appy Coruscant there.
Well, boss, you've got the winning lotto numbers all wrapped up tonight. But it was those 3 key players that you spoke of who were so instrumental. As we see the action, Coruscant there from dummy half. He beat the Marlins up and then had the co-captain ever-present backing up to put it under the black dot. And that's a good way to come out of the sheds.
Such a direct set as well, Michael, from Penrith. And with some quick play the balls, Coruscant, one of the quickest dummy halves in the competition, he just took off. He took his opportunity. I know we've got Damien Cook as a New South Wales hooker, but if Appy wants it, he would be a chief contender. He's an outstanding player, a winner of a grand final way back in 2014 with the Rabbitohs. Beautiful play by the Panthers hooker. I like what I'm seeing from Penrith. I think we had Jermaine Hopgood too in the lead-up. I didn't mention the young fella, the Queenslander, as Cleary converts 12-0. He did the previous hit-up and a quick play the ball as well. Now he is a player with some big tags on him.
There's Nathan Boo, the co-captain on screen. Try and 2 goals to his name tonight, but he has really come out of the blocks firing. See Gutherson having a little word to Ashley Klein, trying to assert something there on the referee's opinion as we watch the action once more. With Berry then opening up the account with the Panthers in the second half. He had a strong season last year and showing every sign that he wants to go on with it again this year and take the Panthers that one step further.
All right, Parramatta will want to see a bit from their team, see how they respond to conceding an early try in the second half. Where we're broadcasting from at Panthers Stadium, off to our right is the Parramatta coaching box with Brad Arthur and David Kidwell there. But this is a Penrith side dialed in to start the second half. An aggressive running again, Hopgood on that charge. He's got the arms well and truly tattooed. Young Jermaine. And the Panthers 5 metres short of halfway. You don't want to make that mistake of an error after a try, and they didn't do it there, didn't look like doing it. Cleary's kick to the corner. That's textbook. That's absolutely textbook from Penrith. They would have run through that set after try in the off-season over and over, and they've just affected it here tonight, put into effect tonight. Now Ferguson with the ball.
And that's starting to be the difference between the two sides here, Bossy. Those key players for the Panthers are just starting to get back into that Telstra Premiership form that you'd expect. Some of the Parramatta Eels haven't quite hit their straps tonight.
And now an offload to Moses from Papali'i. A little bit of risk on the ball out to the right. And Hipgrave copped the treatment. Now I'll say it again, and I'm not going to be damning of referee Ashley Klein at all, because I think he's come with a mindset tonight, let them play. We don't need stop-start. But in the fair income department, the 10 metres has gone out the window, and we're not playing the set restart rule tonight, because I can tell you 4 out of the 6 tackles just then, they were standing offside, and Klein was happy for play to continue. And as I said, for a trial, I guess I'm okay with it. That you can bend them a little bit. You want the players to get a hit out like this. But I don't know whether we can expect the same in 2 weeks' time, and the players need to be aware of that. It needs to be pointed out to them. Some may differ. Perhaps you're saying it should be the full dress rehearsal tonight, and the referee should be ruling set restart after set restart. But this is vastly different to other games that have been played so far this year. Louise kick. Here comes Gutherson under pressure. Nowhere to go. Capewell spreading through. They're doing everything right here, Penrith.
Starting to turn the screws on the Penrith side as the kick through there was very well weighted. But Gutherson, ever present, clean up at the back. It's coming for a line dropout.
That was Kurt Capewell on the run through. How well did he go in State of Origin? Kurt Capewell, for a player who, didn't play a lot of first grade last year, he stepped up to the next level. Very accomplished performance for Queensland. Kurt Capewell trapped there by Cleary, and it's on again for the Panthers to test out this Parramatta defence. We've had no play the ball infringements tonight either. No changeovers for incorrect play the balls. Spencer Lenu, another good run. I'll say it again, he is ready for a big season, Spencer Lenu. He'll be there. There's Zane Tedavano this year. Coruscant just caught by Lane. It is on again. Eisenhuth. Penrith, put down by Edwards. You didn't see that coming. Everything was going good for them. And then Edwards has come up with an error. And I thought a third try was coming for the home team.
Well, this is going to be a good chance for Parramatta to respond to the intensity lift by the Panthers after the break. Penrith really dominating the opening exchanges at the moment. Parramatta pinned down in their own territory. They look to put a strong consolidated set to turn the football back to the northern end of the park, but a bit of work to do here for Parramatta.
And so from the scrum, Kafusi with the first carry of the night. Again, if you joined us late, I don't think there's any injuries to report. We are playing unlimited interchange complete 40-minute half. Some other trials have been played into the 4-quarter format, not this one. There's Marnie, switch of play for Lane, who's playing it a bit tighter at the moment. Marnie again, with Moses across for Madison. Feeding along for Sevo, taking on Staines. Gee, they've done well on Micah Sevo tonight, Penrith. Even prevented him scoring a try from close range in the first half, which is not easily done. Moses and Brown and Gutherson. Chance of an overlap there on the last tackle. They've gone short side with Brown. Oh boy, that's a summer pass, that one. That's gone floating forward over the sideline.
And poor old Blake Ferguson.
That's a shocker. That is an absolute shocker.
He'd be entitled to be disgusted as well, because he was the one that set that passage of play with that very strong carry out of the Eels red zone, and they advanced the football down, was what the coach was asking for, and then to come up with a very ordinary end of that set, disappointing letdown for Parramatta.
So Coruscant and this fella Hopgood, who is now in the top 30, Queensland under 20 rep, hails from Hervey Bay. He looks good too. Across for Capel. So they've got this sprinkling of Queenslanders in their squad, Penrith. Not too many of them, just a sprinkling. Now Cleary with it. Hopgood on another run. He's making a statement in front of his coach. Coruscant away for Cleary. A bomb from 35 metres out. Sevo is under pressure. Micah does well. In fact, he may have lost it at the finish. He did. Well, the catch was fine. Well, what do you want to do, Mike? You want a captain's challenge? You can if you like. Greg Alexander, the great Panther, said front rowers and wingers should not be allowed to challenge. The captain should just shake their head and say no. Catch was fine, and then, no doubt about it, lost it.
Yeah, lost it back there. And, well, other than that, he's been very safe under the high ball, Micah Sevo, tonight. He's been tested. No doubt that's one of the areas he's been working on in the off-season.
Move to scrum, the centre field here, Michael, as well. Penrith. This gives them Luai on the left. Edwards might shift around to the left. Look out. Look out here. This could be a 4-on-3 for Penrith. That's the way they come. Luai with the ball. Parramatta just didn't react to it. The pass wasn't good. And Toto did his best to catch that. But there was no read from Parramatta in defence at all. Edwards was shifting around to the left side of the scrum, and Parramatta weren't really aware or alert to it. 11 minutes into the second half. Cleary. And straight and hard run again for Hopgood. Now Coruscant. And Eisenhuth, nice play. Cleary, not a good ball. Totu's getting some rubbish at the moment, poor O'Brien. And does his best to clean up. 12 away from the line at 12-0 to Penrith. Cleary is certainly the driver's seat at the moment, the home team. Hopgood's taking every second and third carry at the moment. Coruscant to Luai. Left foot step twice. Brilliant kick. Marnie. Oh, just went a little too far. That's an escape for Parramatta.
Did well to let that one roll over the dead ball line there, Marnie. Cool head under pressure. And a good chance for Parramatta to just see how they can be tested on their own line. Of course, we're not playing for premiership points tonight. So a real opportunity there for them to muscle up on their own defensive line and shut down the Panthers' attack.
Last time they met, Michael, round 18 last year, Parramatta was kept trialless as well. 20 points to 2 here. And they find themselves trialless again tonight through 53 minutes. That's been knocked out of the hands of Marnie. Klein's going to rule a penalty for not standing square, and then he wants the tap back on the mark. A little bit of a shambles there, but there's a chance for Parramatta. I don't think we're too far away. I think we might get to, 60, 65 minutes when we see the charge of the Light Brigade from the bench.
And Reid Marnie, a noted 80-minute player, but the word is that this year they might look to include Joey Lussick as an interchange option and just limit the amount of time that Reid stays on the field.
And he is on the bench, having played in the lower grades here tonight. Now Brown on to Papali'i. 15 metres away from the line. 13 and a bit into the second half. Dylan Brown, Moses, Madison. Can't offload again. Yes, he can offload. Opacek with the ball for Parramatta. Between Madison and Paulo, they've got two of the leading offloaders in the NRL, Parramatta. Got to make something of it though. Moses with it. Cross and through defenders. Moses beats Edwards then. Crichton, or rather Lenu it was at the finish, saving the try. Gutherson with it, telegraphs the kick, and they will get a repeat set out of it. Sometimes my expert co-commentary team on Fox League have been critical of Gutherson and perhaps kicking a little too often. That time he gets a result.
Was always going to get a result on that occasion there. Either a try was the preferred option, but if nothing else, a repeat set, and that's where they came off. I'm very impressed with the earlier run there by Mitchell Moses as well. He's had to stay to Nathan Cleary. Well, you can do it, I can do it as well. It's a real ding-dong battle between these two number 7s.
And so it should be. Chief playmakers for their two sides. Kafusi to bring it back. By the way, from that Roosters-Raiders game, won by the Roosters 26-20 after the Raiders had led 16-10 at half-time and then made a lot of changes. Sam Walker, yet another young star, scored a try for the Roosters. So Suali 2 for North Sydney, and Sam Walker getting a taste of first grade. Come up with a 4-pointer. Moses and Gutherson, and on it goes. Opacek to Sivo. Sivo stays in the field of play. Madison. Gutherson wide for Moses. Keeps it going right side for Brown. Now the straighten up run and then put down, in fact. Oh, that's anti-climax. Wanga Blake hasn't really been a factor here at all tonight. Wanga Blake.
And just as they were starting to build some intensity as well, it all just fizzled out to nothing. Across, found Dylan Brown and then turned Blake back on the inside, and then just a really ordinary carry there. The ball dislodged by the Panthers defence.
Certainly wasn't worthy of a high five, was it? Like if I dropped the ball like that and put my hand up for five, I'm leaving from his teammate. I'm leaving him hanging. You don't deserve a high five after dropping the ball. Why would you give him some skin there? You're watching it at home. Well, why would he get a high five? He's not worthy of it. That's rubbish. 12-0 Penrith Parramatta. 56 minutes gone. Liam Martin. Super season last year from Liam Martin. Now Coruscant. And Leota's back for a second stint. Was very strong early. Hopgood, Cleary, Capel on a spin and put down in the tackle of Niokore. But Penrith doing a lot right at the moment. Leota's got another run. They're getting ready to send big Viliami Kikau back out there. I think Jerome Luai has had his last football for the night. He's gone off the field for Penrith. High ball towards Sivo again. Oh, Sivo, it got big on him. That was a good catch.
Had a bit of work to do tonight, Marcus Sivo, under the high ball, but also a few of the times he's run the ball straight down the sideline. He's really not afraid to tiptoe down that sideline, as we see his compatriot there, Big Fergie, taking a solid hit up.
Well, they're talking about Dally M voting being restructured this year. Possibility of every player being rated out of 10 per game. Well, Jerome Luai, for his 58 minutes, I'd be giving him an 8 tonight. I think an outstanding start to the season, Jerome Luai. I can't imagine he'd be sent back on now that he's come off. Here's Reid Marnie for Moses. Kicks back inside. Doesn't find Brown. Oh, there's a collision between Edwards and Brown. And he knocked on in the process, so change over there. Don't mind it though from Moses. Little dink over the top, little poke.
Here it is on your screen. And look at Brown. He knew it was on, chasing through. Didn't show any self-preservation there. Went for the ball. Perhaps a little soccer through might have been the better option.
Andrew Voss and Michael Golikov with you on this Saturday night. Calling this one, Penrith 12 over Parramatta 0. And so many stories coming out of this last round of trials, but Rabbitohs over Dragons 48-16. Dragons fans dismayed at the effort. South Sydney fans super impressed. And Latrell Mitchell, 5-star performance for the Rabbits. His kick out. Oh, have a look at Big Billy. No one will stop him. Back to Cleary. Pass over the top. Bounces okay. Penrith, oh, you can't call it forward, Mr. Klein. It was thrown backwards and bounced forward. Surely denied the try of the year, Penrith. The try of the year.
And the crowd don't like it, Bossy, but kick out. Look at him go through. Well, the players are starting to tie through the middle, and he's only on with fresh legs. Got the ball Freddie Cleary, then that Harbour Bridge pass out the back, but Klein said it was forward. The Penrith faithful in the stands didn't like it.
That from Viliami kick out was awesome. That big, you step like that. Round of applause here from the Panthers fans. Cleary's at his last football for the night. He's off as well now, so the starting 7 and 6 are gone. So things start to become a little disjointed, you can suspect, going into the last quarter of the game. But Cleary can be very happy with his work. I note too, just in back play, Kurt Capewell came from the field and also up the tunnel. So I'm hoping that nothing of a serious nature there, or even any sort of injury this close to the season kickoff. But Capewell off for the Panthers, and some rugged defence now on Ferguson. Late offload, maybe was held, but obviously not the case. Now Paulo, offload, Madison, kept alive, Moses. Can't get through the centre there. Former Eel Jamin Salmon getting ready to come on for Penrith too. Gets a game against his former club nice and early. Here's Edwards with it. And Edwards beats the first. In fact, Salmon will be thrown in this set. The former Eel. Be a handy backup player for Penrith. Moses just with a trainer after that previous set for Parramatta. In fact, he's out at left wing at the moment, Mitchell Moses. I think he might have copped a decent shot. Just getting his breath back. Salmon is now out there for Penrith.
He's yet to have a chance to cement a regular first-grade squad spot there at Jamin Salmon, but he's got plenty of potential. He'll have to wait his turn here at Penrith, though.
Also getting ready to send Mitch Kenny out there. Now Leota. Really good footwork and offload as well. Coruscant goes wide. Oh, good defence, Blake. Ball is loose. But that was a menacing tackle by Blake on Salmon. First game against the former club. Now, Moses coming on. I think it's more than just winded too. He was feeling his left side. So Moses has played his last football for the night, you would think. And Api Coruscant is now come off for Penrith. We'll do our best to keep you in touch with all these changes. There's plenty of them. This is what happens in trials. Now Billy Burns running out there as well. Kickout's going to come off for Penrith, so a lot of the big stars will now be put in cotton wool. Penrith to play their first home game in 2 weeks' time exactly, the first Saturday night. They will play the Panthers, they will play the Cowboys, and the Eels involved in the first Friday night game of the year, taking on the Broncos. Clint Gutherson off for Parramatta. And Jordan Rankin has gone out there for the Eels. And now Brown turning it inside for Nathan. That was Dylan to Nathan. Marnie did well to pick that up.
And Rankin was solid in the Eels' performance against the Dragons trial last week, so he gets a chance to come on and show that he's the #1 backup option for Gutherson.
Here he is here in jumper 18 for the Eels, former Titan. Jordan Rankin, and a number of years over in England as well. Last tackle here for Parramatta, still without points through 63 minutes. The bomb for Edwards makes a mess of it. That's a gift. That's a gift for Tom Opacek. It's almost a Valentine's Day present. Couldn't believe his luck. Edwards losing it. Opacek then with a short run to the line, and Parramatta get their first try of the night.
Opacek there, good heads up football. The kick from Brown, bit of a skyscraper. came down there. Edwards lost it backwards, and then Opper check there, just gifted, as you say, a little love note to say, here you go. You can get the Eels on the board.
You've bought into the romance aspect of it, Michael. Nice play. Well, it's the closest big date I could think. I mean, not an Easter present. That's the best I could come up with. So Rankin will have the shot for 12-6. Maybe my earlier prediction of draw will ring true. Ferguson coming off for Parramatta. And I think they've sent on young Charbel Tazi Pale out there. As I say, left, right and centre changes being made now. It all gets a bit frantic, but as with most of these trials, once the stars are off, they don't go on for a second stint. That will do them, and Gutherson and Ferguson, I'm pretty sure that will be the case for Parramatta, for Moses likewise.
Well, here's a question to pose. If the first 60-odd minutes was essentially first grade full squads versus each other, then the Panthers won the strong half of the contest.
True. Yep.
And whatever happens now is well, academic, isn't it?
Well, that is one way of analysing the match if you're majorly concerned with win-loss in a trial match. But yes, let the record show that for 65 minutes or 60 minutes of the match, when the stars were out there, Penrith were better than Parramatta. Putting it simply, Penrith was the better side, and it showed on the scoreboard as well. And now you've got Coruscant, Cleary, Luai all off. So you've taken off your 3 strikes in attack. And Parramatta doing the same with Moses and Gutherson now. So the attack of the two sides becomes vastly different. Marnie's still out there for Parramatta. Nathan Brown, Paulo. Lottery ball taken by Blake. And back he comes. Last play for Parramatta. Marnie to Brown. And kicking high as he was smothered in the tackle of Yo. Staines onto it for Penrith. Well, it can't be a first grade game without a Charlie Staines try, so he's still due to get one. He's had one disallowed. Charlie with 6 tries in 2 NRL games. Ivan Cleary, by the way, the Penrith coach, if you weren't aware, when you talk about players recovering from surgery in the off-season and rehab, Ivan Cleary had hip replacement surgery, hip resurfacing, which is what they do these days. So he was laid up for quite some time. It's normally a 6-month recovery, and he's about 3 months into that for Ivan, getting better by the day, but that was major surgery for him. That ball high and juggled out there on the right wing. In fact, that's Hayes Dunster out on the right wing. You've got to do your best on some of these numbers. Dunster's come on for Ferguson. And then Rankin on the next run. Blake well contained there. I think so far we've got 13 minutes to go. When Parramatta fans analyse the performance, they will have question mark on their attack. They're not going to be super convinced. There's been good signs, but it hasn't clicked. But this is what trials are about, getting yourself into the season. But it's a carry on from last year where we also put question marks on their attack. Now back for Brent Naden, controversial figure, playing tonight. Won't be appearing in first grade once the NRL starts for a month. But he's here in this trial tonight. And very much the steam's gone a little out of the contest as Leota tries to reignite things with another good run for 15 metres or so. Kenny gets them started up on halfway. So they're well stocked in some positions. The fact that Burton is still at the club as backup for the halves, the fact that Mitch Kenny is there as backup for Coruscant, I'm pretty sure if something happens to Edwards, they can cover that as well. Some key positions. There's enough depth there. There's the kick from Matt Burton on cue. Rankin didn't really get a challenge at it. It's bounced into the hands of Liam Martin, who loses the ball. Advantage taken. And Parramatta have possession.
We can throw Charlie Staines into the mix for another option for the Panthers fullback. It is his preferred position, although his time on the wing has been very fruitful.
Well, I could have sworn advantage was taken. It's a subjective thing, of course, but they're going to say no. And Penrith are going to get the scrum feed here. Centre field. This will be a big chance for them. Burton lurks in the headgear. Now with Naden. Naden has beaten a couple. He's only 2 metres away from the line. 11 minutes remaining, 11 to go, and a 6-point ball game between these Derby rivals. Eisenhuth 9 metres away from the line. And now Yeo back towards the posts and almost spun his way over there. Kenny, dummy half, left, set. May playing in the halves now, puts it down. Disappointing for Penrith. No chance to build up pressure there.
And Bossy, you were talking earlier about this is a bit of a blast from the past with the one referee, of course, as we know now, no in-goal touch judges, no video ref tonight. A number of these players coming on this back end of the match played in the earlier New South Wales Cup trial, so they're on double duties.
Yeah, you want to go all the way back to Grand Final Day 1985. What was it? Chris Guy to the hooker played all 3 grades Grand Final Day. Played in all 3 Grand Finals. Under 23s, reserve grade and first grade under Roy Masters. It's a throwback. Campbell Gillard with the ball here for Parramatta. And there's been many others make their debut, having played in the lower grades on the same day, got a run in first grade.
Looking at Campbell Gillard, it seems to be supporting a pretty good 10 in the off-season. A bit of a beach hero last week as well. Saving, well, in helping out in a sea rescue at Shell Harbour.
Yeah, with a rip in Vol. Well done to Regan as it comes out now. And the Eels with Opacek. He's headed over and out to the sideline. Kept it alive. Did well. Fielded by Sean Lane. I'll say it again. I think Opacek, valuable pickup for Parramatta. Handy signing. Dylan Brown, last tackle, 30 metres out from the line. They've scored off one bomb already. Hayes Dunster. Well, he had it and then lost it mid-air. And Penrith back away with the ball.
Well, hopes on Hayes Dunster, the Parramatta side. He had a brief glimmer at the end of last season, came on in the final against Souths. What an opportunity for him it was. They didn't get the chocolates that night, but with the 2 starting wingers off contract at the end of the season, he's in the future plans for Parramatta. While
we're saying this retro mode, we've got a 33 out there. Here he is, Lindsay Smith, number 33. Back in the day, in reserve grade wore the high numbers. Burton kicks for the corner. Lindsay Smith's out there. He's the highest number of the night. Reid Marnie's gone off for Parramatta. Number 9 replaces number 9. Joey Lussick is now out there, the blonde-haired hooker for Parramatta, replacing Reid Marnie, who's played 72 minutes. So players wearing numbers like for like, and Blake Arthur is getting ready to come on. Jacob Arthur rather getting ready to come on. He'll be out there in a moment. So the Eels in possession. Still a chance to tie up the game. These 2 sides did that last year down in Bega, albeit a few more points scored than this one. Penrith's try in the first half to Jerome Luai, 5 before the break. And then Cleary scoring straight after half-time after some brilliant work by Api Coruscant. Mike Acevo coming off for Parramatta. And Solomone Naduki is now out there. Is he not on the left wing?
He got across the stripe last week in the match against the Dragons. Naduki, he's still a raw talent, but another Fijian fly in the wings for Parramatta.
Of course, we've seen the vision this week of the Fiji Silktails, who will play in the Ron Massey Cup this year. Out there, some amazing stories there. There's players that have never been out of their own village, and they've had to fly here, and they will play all their matches on Australian soil this year as Burton runs up to the line. And defence on the outside, good, getting across there. Campbell Gillard among them, 18 metres away from the line. Burton will provide the bomb here. He's got a bit of curl on it. across field, knocked down there by Isaac Tago. And Parramatta come up with the ball with 6.5 to go. But again, the game not anywhere near the intensity of earlier. I think Michael's observation was right. A 60-minute contest, and then it becomes a bit of exhibition, really, the last 20, where everyone's just looking to get a bit of game time. There's Lussick in a dummy half-duty role. Papali'i coming back on for Parramatta at the moment.
And Nathan Brown still doing what he does best, those big charges up the middle.
I must say too, I mean, it's only a minor point, but they're very loose with the changes as well. In fact, if you want to be pedantic, they are playing with 14 on the field at some time. Just then Parramatta had Papali'i on the field a good 7 or 8 seconds before Paulo had come off for Parramatta. So there's no interchange cards being used down on the sideline because it's unlimited and it is in trial mode, but that's the way we roll tonight. Penrith with the ball, 20 metres out from their own line. So let's start a little post-mortem with 5.5 to go, and I guess you can say result inconsequential from here, but I think the thing I'm going to take out of tonight is that Penrith are ready for a fast start to the season, judging by what I saw by players in key positions, Cleary, Luai, Coruscant. You know the forwards are going to do their job. I just think the chief playmakers here look really good for Penrith to start the year. And I don't know whether I can say the same of Parramatta. I just think the Penrith Stars playmakers were better than Parramatta's.
Yeah, well, I'll concur with you there. Parramatta's team playmakers just didn't fire on all cylinders tonight, but they weren't that far away.
No, agreed.
And I think there's still plenty of potential. I'm still looking at the Eels to be in the top 6 based on what they've shown and what they can do.
Lussick and Nathan Brown combining with Arthur there. So we don't get the opportunity to have the two coaches' sons playing against each other in halfback. Cleary already off the field when Arthur gets on for Parramatta. Still a proud moment for Brad. Coach. And he coached his son through the juniors. In fact, there'd be days where he'd have a match that night, but he was still coaching the kids in the morning. And now 40 away from the line. Here he is, Arthur. Just outside the 30. Into the last 4 minutes we go. Slow play the ball there for Lussick. Say again, on the other trials that I've watched, and I've streamed plenty of games pre-season, Ashley Klein has gone in with a totally different mindset tonight. The set restarts were put away for the night. We didn't have a 10-metre offside penalty all game. No, a set restart. Parramatta with a chance. It still could be the draw. Smith is there. Cleans up for Penrith. Lindsay Smith. Parramatta lose a chance there to try and get their second try at 12 points to 6. Nathan Brown has had his last footy for the night for Parramatta. So on the face of it, the only possible injury you would think for Penrith, I was just checking the bench. I don't think Kurt Capewell come back to the bench to watch the remainder of the game. He did go up the tunnel when he came off the field. Gio makes some good metres there. Last play, Penrith. And May charged down. May have been right off the noggin. Might have been right into the face of Hipgrave. And the penalty ruled there in any case. But did this get Hipgrave in the face? No, he got him in the back. There we go. Penrith can put themselves right on the attack here. They've sent young Sania Taruva out there on right wing. Another exciting young player in their development squad, just 18 years of age. Tago's on show getting a brief touch. The first grade tonight, he's 18. Taylor May was in their squad tonight, 18 years of age. We'll get a few minutes on the field. Just a taste of it. 15 away, Kenny. They work right. And May draws the defence in, and there he is. This young fella, almost a try with his first touch, Taruva. 15 metres away, May He's running the show now for Hopgood. Like what I've seen from Jermaine Hopgood. He looks ripe and ready for the NRL. Play a roll off the bench. And the Panthers all the way to the left corner. And somersault to score. They've come up with a third try and the match sealer as well. In what has become a disjointed last 20 minutes. But their third try puts a seal on it. Victory for Penrith.
Well, they went from sideline to sideline, but this play started in the middle corridor. And across the back line, a nice try in the corner for the youngster Thailand May.
I think that was his first touch as well.
Yeah, you'll be right there.
18 years of age and promoted to the top 30 only this week. He will be part of the top 30. That's quite a moment.
The execution was nice as well, as you say, the little somersault there, just a bit of a crowd pleaser. And the majority of the crowd will be pleased to walk home with a victory on the Panthers side tonight.
By the way, half-time in the other trial now, the only other one still in progress. Broncos leading the Cowboys 18 points to 6. Up at Redcliffe, so Kevy Walters' team in front over the Cowboys, which will be the Panthers' first opponent in 2 weeks' time tonight. Round 1 of the NRL, Parramatta play the first Friday night against Brisbane. And Burton for the last play of the game. 22 away and right on the touchline. Burton misses with a kick, but that will do us. The final hit out is done, although he has ruled time off, so maybe we've only got a couple of seconds. We've got some time on the clock. There will be a restart of play. May scoring the try. Excitement among his teammates. It's time for a little bit more action. Don't worry about our clock. There's still a few seconds left here. Let's see some razzle-dazzle to finish from the Panthers. Smith on the run back. Biggest positives for Parramatta. I think Paulo has started the season well. He looks fit up in the front row. Opacek has been handy. Sivo well contained tonight. I think the same could be said of Ferguson. They probably would expect more out of their two wingers. And now we have got an incorrect play the ball changeover. In the final seconds of play, we've got an incorrect play the ball. There hasn't been any others tonight, except the one in the last seconds. That's almost comical that could be the case. And that'll do us tonight. The last play the ball of the night was incorrect.
Well, they just ran out of puff, didn't they? 79 minutes and a bit. They did it right. The last one, as you say, not good enough. Doesn't count for much in the end. The Panthers take home the chocolates tonight. 16 points to 6 over their arch rivals in the pre-season Battle of the West.